Hi, I'm Aaron Frommel alongside with my co-hosts
Will Hurrian.
Ryan Hanna.
and this is The Blitz. Today we will be talking about who we think is the best conference in college football and also who we think will make the college football playoffs. I'm going to start with Will. Who do you think is the best conference in the college football playoffs?
You know, it's quite easy to say it's the Big Ten, it's the Pac-12, it's the ACC, it's the SEC. You know, they're all up for grabs. I have to go with Big Ten. Penn State is a big sleeper this year for the college football playoff. You always have Ohio State, they're a great team. Iowa's defense is always out there. Minnesota's on the ups. Michigan State, two of the biggest rival in college football. They're both always really good.
I would have to go with the Pac-12 because the teams out west are always really good. You've got USC, Stanford's always pretty good. You got Oregon out there who's always a sleeper, always really good. You've got Colorado, Arizona who's always okay around there. And I just feel like there's no full conference that can contend with every team that the Pac-12 has.
And I think you got to stick with the roots as the best, and you got to go with the number one overall team, and that's always Alabama. Alabama is consistently always the top 1-2 teams in college football. They also have to compete alongside Florida, and I just don't think that any other conference has such powerful players that the SEC brings to college football, and that's why I honestly think they're the best conference.
Hang on, I want to go back to the Pac-12 thing real quick. Other than USC, Stanford, and Oregon, there's no second-tier teams that can step up against the teams in the Big Ten, like the lower teams like Minnesota and Penn State. How do you call them the best team in football when they're never in the college football playoff?
Well, none of the second-tier teams from the Big Ten have been in the college football playoff either. Penn State was number 5 last year, but Colorado was right there at 7. So that's basically you're saying Penn State's a second-tier team. I say Colorado's a second-tier team. They're 5 and 7, so there's not much difference between the two.
Penn State should have been in the playoff, though. They have two Heisman candidates next year in Saquon Barkley and Trace McSorley. I don't know how you say they're not.
I do agree that they should have been in the playoff last year, but I also think that Colorado should have been in the playoff with their resume and who they beat and how they played.
All right, we're going to move on to our second topic, which is who we think will make the college football playoffs. We're going to take it over to Ryan to start this one off.
Well, you got to stick with Alabama. They're the best team in college football every single year, so they're 1. I would say probably USC at 2. I would go Ohio State 3, and then Penn State sneaks in there at 4.
You're going to put in 2 Big Ten teams in there?
Yes.
You're going to leave out the ACC with Louisville?
Yes. I don't think Louisville's as good this year anymore.
All right. I know. I have to go with Alabama's number 1. They're definitely in there. Clemson's number 1. Then you probably have 4 teams vying for spots 3 and 4. You have Baylor, USC, Penn State, and Ohio State. And then I think I'm only throwing in 1 Big Ten team, and that's going to be Penn State. And then I'll probably put in USC.
So I think it's going to be the conference winners. It has to be. That's how it should be built. And I don't think it can be a Big 12 team because you can split it. You can go either way. So I think it will be Alabama number 1 as the SEC champ. Clemson is number 2 with the ACC champ. Ohio State number 3 as the Big 10 champ. And then
Pac-12.
And then USC as the Pac-12 champ with number 4 as the Heisman candidate with who I think they have.
Sam Darnold's going to put up heck of a year numbers for USC. I think he comes in with the Heisman.
The only question I have for you, Will, is how are you going to put Clemson in there after their big losses with Deshaun Watson, Mike Williams, and Wayne Gallman? And there's no way they can be as good a repeat. Or I actually don't think they'll even make the playoff this year. I don't think they'll even vie for a SEC.
I mean, I know they're definitely not winning, but put them in 3 or 4 and there because they're still playing in a weaker ACC conference, which all you have is Louisville. It's basically it.
Florida State.
Florida State. They're not going to be strong this year.
I do think that Clemson will still continue to grow. They have a great coach that keeps the program growing. I'm sure that they will be able to build off their recent success and the recruiting classes coming in well. Well, that's all for today, folks. Thank you for joining us at The Blitz.